friendly voice of radio, the people's choice. Music, weather, sports and news, it's radio. The people choose. Everybody swinging to the swinging voice of radio, the people's choice. Big fry, small fry, dawn to dawn, it's radio that turns them on. Swinging, singing, a million sounds you want to hear. It's a landslide every year. Everybody's diving in the smiling voice of radio, the people's choice. East Coast, West Coast, in between, it's radio that makes us see.
Oh, yeah, good to have your company on this Saturday night. Glenn Wheeler here on 2GB 873. Thank you, Dan Mullins, and we'll be here right through until midnight tonight, of course. First up, the Clubhouse, with thanks to the 50 Up Club tonight. In particular, we're going to get Steve Fennick on the line and talk about the incredible surge towards social media by the older groups, 50 Up, basically. A lot of us are really jumping on board and embracing social media. We're going to have a chat to Steve about that shortly. Janelle Bloom will join me after 7 o'clock for My Kitchen, of course, from 7 through until 8. Always have a bit of fun with Bloomy when we get together in the kitchen. Who knows what's going to happen? We don't know, so how can I expect to tell you? And, of course, after 8 o'clock tonight, Wheeler from 8 till midnight, all the usual fun and carry on. So I hope we've got your company for at least part, if not all, of that time. Look forward to it.
Welcome to the Clubhouse on a Saturday night, thanks to 50upclub.com. And now, here's your host with the most, Glenn Wheeler.
Well, thank you very much for that fine introduction. Welcome to the Clubhouse on this Saturday night, 28th of December 2013, our last weekend for the year. How about that? It's romantic, rather, isn't it? Of course, the Clubhouse proudly sponsored by the 50 Up Club, and if you haven't already joined the club, then you should. It's quick, it's easy, it's free, and all you've got to do is go to 50upclub.com and be a part of this great movement of people over the age of 50 who, well, to put it simply, represent a huge slice of the consumer market. And already we've had the benefits of deals on car insurance and electricity. And there's much more to come. Now, electricity bills, as we know, have doubled for many households in the past 7 years. And quite often the summer months are the worst, aren't they? Because of air conditioning requirements and the like. And that's why you should take up the 50 Up Club electricity offer. There's 17% off your entire bill for 2 years if you pay by direct debit, or 15% off if you pay on time by phone or internet. No exit fees or lock-in period. That's important. And all from one of Australia's fastest-growing electricity retailers, Click Energy. A typical four-person household on the regulated tariff could save $490 this year by taking up the offer. So don't spend a cent more than you should on electricity. After all, there are much better things to spend it on, especially at this time of the year. If you're not a member yet, as I say, join now. You'll see the offer at 50upclub.com. For more details or to join, just log on 50upclub.com, or you can call Click Energy on 1300 085 785. That's 1300 085 785. Terms and conditions do apply, and the 50 Up Club, of course, as a referrer, receives commissions. Membership of the 50 Up Club is approaching 50,000 too, so you want to be a part of it. Now, tonight we're going to talk about social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that sort of thing. And guess who the biggest users are? The biggest users are, in fact, the 50 Ups, which is quite incredible. I mean, I was amazed by that. Now, I'm not surprised personally because, I mean, when I say personally, I'm a big Facebook user. I think barely a day would go by that I don't check Facebook at least. And over the Christmas period, over the last few days, we've really given Facebook a bit of a hiding in our family. But there are many, many people over the age of 50 embracing it. And seniors generally, and I'll just use that word, seniors, are comprising the fastest growing user segment of the social media world. So I thought we'd get Stephen Fennick on the line from techguide.com.au, and now the host of his own tech show here on 2GB on Saturday mornings between 9 and 10 a.m. He's on the line. G'day, Steve Fennick.
G'day, Glenn. How you going?
I'm well. Hey, welcome and congratulations. Not welcome to 2GB because you've long been a part of 2GB, particularly on Smithy's show, during the week, but now you've got your own tech show up and running on a Saturday morning.
That's right, yeah. We kicked off at 10 a.m. Today, yeah, so it went really well. I'm looking forward to delivering that every Saturday, helping people out with their technology, including this older group of users who, as you mentioned, are really taking to Twitter and Facebook. That's the fastest growing demographic on Twitter is actually the 55 to 64-year-old age group.
Amazing, amazing, isn't it? Now, why? I mean, what's driving it?
I think there's a number of reasons why they're doing it. One of the main reasons is the fact that users of that age are sometimes buying their first smartphone and tablet, and they're finding that it's easy to access social media now because of these new devices. They're finding that it's literally at their fingertips. It's also a great way for them to keep in touch with children and grandchildren, because this is where their children and grandchildren live on the internet. To them, it is the internet. So I think that they're finding that this is a great way for them to keep in touch with their families.
We've got, and you're right, my mother-in-law is currently staying with us, as she does over Christmas, lives up on the far north coast or mid-north coast, and she, whilst she's not on the internet yet, I know that she would like to be, because she's constantly asking about Facebook, and she's got a friend who is on Facebook, and her friend regularly sees photos that we put up of our family and things that we do as a family, etc. And she tells Nanny, and Nanny, then talks to us about it. But I know that she'd rather be directly connected, and I'm guessing that that's the case now with a lot of people who maybe missed that technological bus as it drove by in the last 10 or 20 years, like my old man Steve, who. It's too late for Dad now. He's gone to his grave, God love him, but he used to say, computers, it's just one more bloody thing that can go wrong. But, of course, if you did turn your back on it 10, 20 years ago, it could be, I suppose, rather a daunting task to try and embrace again, but it doesn't need to be, does it?
Absolutely not. No, I think you're finding it, and I think my own parents are a great example of this too, that there is a point where you sometimes don't have a choice when it comes to getting a smartphone or a tablet, so they find themselves in a situation where, necessity is the best form of invention here. They've got to do it. They don't really have a choice. Try to walk into a phone shop now and buy a phone that isn't a smartphone, so they're finding that they're kind of forced into it. And when they get on there and start using it, it's not as hard as they thought, which is the pleasant surprise they get. And because they're on there now, they've got now access to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email even. For a lot of people using smartphones for the first time of that age, they're finding that, well, wow, how long has email been going on? And they're really enjoying that as well.
Because of the immediacy of it, the fact that you can do it on the hop, you can be in the car, you can be, not driving, of course, but you can be a passenger in the car, you can be on public transport, you can keep in touch, and I think that's one of the great things, and probably that's where the older group now, the 50-plus particularly, have realised that this isn't just a gimmick, it's not a fad, it's not just a business tool, it's actually a great way of keeping in touch, and as much as we love the romance of writing an old handwritten letter or sending a postcard when you're overseas, the reality is that this technology is immediate. It's now. It's exciting.
Absolutely, yeah. Writing letters, as you said, it's a kind of a thing of the past now. But
the romance. Can I jump in there and say the romance of it is something that we often hear people say, "Oh, but it's lovely to get a letter." It is.
Absolutely, but I think though that the immediacy now of being able to contact someone and almost instantaneously get a reply. I think that's something that they're attracted to as well. But I think I've long held this theory, and I do speak to a lot of older users on my programs, on my website. I think what I've found is that technology, people ask me, why is technology difficult for older people? Why are they so fazed by it? I think because the simple fact is they've spent most of their life without it.
Yes.
And that younger people have known it all their life, and so it's second nature to them.
Yep.
But once they dip their toe in the water, and they get a lot of help. Like my parents, my kids help them out with their devices, show them a thing or two. Once they really get the hang of it, they find that they can really do well on it and use it quite easily. Okay,
so it's something that a couple of points there to leave people with, I guess, is that no matter what age you might be. Whether you're 50, 60, 70 or 80, there is hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel if you've never embraced this technology, it really isn't that hard. You don't have to be a tech guru to understand it.
Yeah, no, not at all. I think we're in the 21st century now. Social media, to many people, is the internet. To them, that's the way they communicate. That's the way they find their information. That's the way they keep in touch. That's the way they share opinions. To them, Facebook, Twitter, and these other social networks is the entire internet to them. That's what these older 55, 64-year-old users and older than that are discovering. And I think I'd bet my bottom dollar that most of them, now that they're into it, are glad they're into it and enjoying a whole new world.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's very much connecting them with a whole bunch of people, members of the family, and other opportunities. For example, banking. And in today's Daily Telegraph, interesting story on banking, saying that apparently most of us now feel like we're connected when we've got the mobile, for example, and we can check on the bank balance, or we can do a transfer or pay a bill or whatever it might be.
It goes back to what I was saying before, where sometimes you don't have a choice. Like to pay your bills now, people are realising that, well, you can do it online.
Yeah.
There are some companies when they say, oh, look, you need to send us an email, you need an email address, go to our website to check out for more information. So some areas you don't really have a choice. You need to get online. You need to check things out in that way.
Yep.
So, and as I said, they're finding that that's a lot easier way to do things, and they're enjoying it.
As a mate of mine said to me a couple of weeks ago, about a fortnight ago actually, in the lead up to Christmas, he said, you know what, I'd like to see the post office ban people paying bills at the post office.
Shorter there,
but the reality there is that if those people who go in to pay their bills with cash, if they really just understood that it would be a benefit to them as well as everybody else, because they wouldn't have had to have gone to the post office in the first place, because they could have.
Absolutely, but you know what? It's they're on the other side of the coin, though, Glenn. I think there's a lot of people who just like to get out of the house occasionally.
Yes,
there's a lot of older
very
people who feel a bit lonely. They want to go and mix with other people.
Very true.
I think that they should still have that option. But I get your point, though. It is a lot more convenient online. But you know what? There's the choice there to still interact with people. I think that's something we shouldn't lose touch with, though.
I agree.
Social media is great.
Yeah.
We shouldn't lose touch, though, with conversation. I think the younger generation are growing up now with texting and social media.
100%.
I still want them to have that skill where they can talk to each other face to face.
100%. Couldn't agree with you more. Hey, listen, thank you for that. And, of course, anyone that wants to, maybe throw a question your way, and particularly in relation to all of this, maybe, how they can find out more or actually, learn to understand the social media aspect better. If they're online, they can always go to your website, can't they?
Absolutely, yeah. techguide.com.au. Feel free to drop me an email. That's info@techguide.com.au. I normally answer reader questions. I'll also have a forum on Tech Guide as well, where myself and many of my readers jump in and answer some questions. If you want an opinion on a product, or you're having a problem, you want an answer to a question there, we'll jump in and help you.
Well done, mate, and good luck with the new show, Saturday mornings between 10 and 11 a.m. here on 2GB.
Thanks very much, Glenn. Have a great night.
You too. Stephen Fennick there joining us on the line. I'd love to hear from any of you that have really embraced social media. Those of you that have jumped on Facebook or Twitter. Any chronic Twitter users out there? I'm guessing that Facebook is going to be something that you're much more in touch with and enjoying, because there are a stack of people that are loving Facebook for that very reason. The transfer of photos, the quick note that you can put to somebody, the picture of the family Christmas that was celebrated on the other side of the world. I mean, how good was it to think that Christmas Day has just come and gone, but you could be in New York. And other members of your family could be scattered all over the world, and yet you can all be checking on what each other's doing and wishing each other a Merry Christmas, all via Facebook. A very simple means of keeping in touch. Those that have embraced it and are really loving it, give us a call and just spread your enthusiasm. Especially, I think, for those who are still contemplating what this is all about, maybe just still wondering. Should I or shouldn't I do it? It doesn't matter whether, as I say, whether you're 50, 60, 70 or 80. I think you could be very, very satisfied by putting a toe in the water and having a crack. This is the Clubhouse on a Saturday night. Glenn Wheeler is my name on 2GB 873.
2GB traffic, thanks to Palmer's Glass. For your shower screens, contact Palmer's Glass.
Kangaroo Tent City's half-yearly clearance sale. Massive savings on camping, barbies, outdoor lounges, kayaks, camper trailers, on now. Visit kangarootentscity.com.au.
Righto, this is the time of year, of course, when you break out all those fabulous jars of Sandhurst products. I know we certainly have over the last few days. Easy, delicious Sandhurst, whether it's the Kalamata olives or the char-grilled capsicum, the artichoke, oh, look, everything. I mean, they've just got so much. The Sandhurst range, absolutely brilliant, perfect for entertaining, and just sensational at this time of the year. Available at all the supermarkets around town and many of the good fruit and veggie shops as well. Easy, delicious Sandhurst.
Sanity's sale is on now with selected TV on DVD 2 seasons for $45. There's Game of Thrones Season 2, Supernatural Season 8 and Arrow Season 1. Choose any two for $45. Or there's Vampire Diaries Season 4, Heart of Dixie Season 2 and Pretty Little Liars Season 3. Choose any two for $45. Selected TV on DVD, 2 seasons for $45. Heaps more in-store and online at sanity.com.au. Sanity, great service, great value.
The de Bortoli family knows a lot about making great wine, and so they should. From when they first produced wine back in 1928 until now, the de Bortoli family continues to be recognised around Australia and around the world as a leading third-generation Aussie winemaker. And so it comes as no surprise that they've won a stack of wine medals and are the wine of choice for many fine hotels, airlines, leading restaurants and major events around the country. Life's too short to drink bad wine. Show your style. Choose de Bortoli.
Think about this. Holden isn't leaving this country. We've been here for over 100 years. And while in the future we'll no longer make cars in Australia, we'll always be committed to making the best cars for Australia. That's something that'll never change. So, it's business as usual for our 230 dealers around the country. We'll never forget our past, but we're focused on the future. Think Holden, because we're here to stay.
You're listening to The Clubhouse with Glenn Wheeler on 2GB 873. Thanks to 50upclub.com.
More New South Wales seniors are actually being encouraged to embrace technology. We were just talking about that with Steve Fennick after the launch of a state government training partnership with Telstra. Andrew Constance, the Minister for Ageing, said that under tech-savvy seniors, older people could learn to use computers, tablets, smartphones for basically little or no cost. Giving seniors the confidence and skills to use technology is important so that they are able to participate in the digital community and economy, said the Premier. In New South Wales, just 53% of older people have internet access at home, and in regional areas across the nation this drops to 49%. Under the scheme, seniors could stay in touch with family and friends through social media, access online shopping, pay bills and conduct banking and plan holidays and all of that sort of thing. That is the reality of it all. I mean, you can do all of that plus a whole lot more. There's really no end to it all. And in fact, when I was just chatting there to Steve Fennick, one of the things that just came back into my mind was when he said that it's almost impossible now not to buy a smartphone. And I think a lot of people kind of miss what, a smartphone is all about. A smartphone is a huge step forward from the old phones that we used to know about from years gone by, phones that, simply made telephone calls and that was it. A smartphone now has all the ability of being able to do a stack more than that. It's a computer. It's a computer in your hand. And yet you don't have to use a zillion different apps, as they're known. And I think the very nature of apps, for some people, they find it confusing or a little bit concerning. What's an app? What's it all about? An app is simply a little program that you download onto your phone or onto your computer, which does stuff. So it can be as simple as telling you where, the local pizza shops are, or it can be as a little bit more detailed as, for example, on the travel show last week, I was telling listeners to have a look at an app called skyscanner.com. And skyscanner.com is an app. It's free and you can download it, and it will find you airfares for anywhere in the world. So if you're travelling from Sydney to Brisbane or Sydney to London, doesn't matter. You punch in the dates, when you want to travel, how many people, whether you want to stop over on the way, so whether there's 1 or 2 stops or whether you're looking for direct flights, you just punch all that information in, and literally within really seconds, I guess, maybe a minute, it downloads all this information and there it is at your fingertips. It really is a fabulous resource. And I was one of those people years ago who did say, I can remember saying many, many times when apps first came about and the smartphone was very much a hot topic of conversation. I remember saying, "Oh, look, I don't need one of these damn things. I don't need to know where the pizza shops are around town. I'll go to my same pizza shop, and I don't need an app for this, that, and the other." But I've quickly become one of those people who embraces what the apps are all about. Having said that, I must say that I really have rarely bought an app. So most of the apps that I use are free apps. Call me a cheapskate, but there's plenty of free apps out there that are just outstanding. You may have to put up a little bit of advertising, but I guess, someone's got to pay somewhere along the line. So that's how it all works. I would really strongly recommend that if you'd like to find out more, that you might give techguide.com.au, Steve Fennick's webpage, a look and jump on his forum there and ask a question or two. And if, as I say, if some of you would like to share your own experiences in going from stop to go in relation to social media, please, 131873 is our number. I'd love to hear from you. And it'll also help to encourage others who maybe haven't made that step yet. In fact, if you're keen to get into Facebook and you'd like to be a part of the social media thing so that you can keep in touch and keep up to date with family and friends, my next guest might be able to help you. Victor Praga has a business called iTutor for Seniors. That's iTutor4seniors.com. And he'll come to you for some one-on-one training to get you going. He joins us on the line tonight in the Clubhouse. G'day, Victor.
Hi, Glenn. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. So we've just been talking to Stephen Fennick from techguide.com.au about the fact that, so many people now are, and particularly over the age of 50, are embracing what this is all about. Your business obviously is all about helping seniors, older Australians, to understand what that computer is all about and get them started.
Yeah, exactly right. There's a lot of seniors now trying to keep up with technology, with their kids, with what their kids are doing, and so on. And they want to learn, and the best way is to do that from their homes with tender, loving care and patience. We'll get them going.
Get them started.
All sorts of technology. Yep.
Who are the people that are calling you to use your services? I mean, who are they? What age group?
Late 50s and up to the late 80s.
Wow.
People up to 89.
Great spectrum of ages there.
Yeah, and, all sorts of different needs. Some of them I've got, for instance, a very interesting case of a lady that has a deaf son, and she's 86, and she got an iPad, and she learned how to communicate with her deaf son with text messages, sending him photos and him sending her photos from her iPhone. And that was a very rewarding experience because it made her very, very happy,
Fantastic. And see, that's a great story that you've just shared with us there, because that's another aspect of what this social media is all about in terms of being able to break down some of the barriers that present from a physical point of view because of things like, hearing impediments or whatever it might be.
Yeah, another big winner is Skype, which helps a lot of people communicate with their kids in Australia or even better overseas, and they can see them.
So let's hold that thought, because once again, I think that one of the problems that we have with when we talk technology is that because many of us understand what it's all about, we have a tendency just to sort of drop in a word like Skype and then we move on from there. Just explain in as simple a word, a few words as you can, what Skype is all about for those people listening to us now that have no idea what we're talking about.
Well, Skype is a program that allows you to speak and see the other person on the screen of your computer or an iPad or even an iPhone or an Android phone, and it's basically free if you have internet access, and you can communicate that way with anybody in any part of the world that has another computer in the same setup.
Which, previously you would only be able to do that maybe by a long-distance telephone call, but you wouldn't be able to see them and you wouldn't know exactly what they were doing. Or if they had just set up, a new house on the other side of the country or in another state or whatever it might be, they can take you for a walk around and show you all the rooms.
Yes, if you have kids in Western Australia, you can contact them every day like this, and you can actually see them and talk to them almost like live. Yeah,
exactly right. No, it's a brilliant program. Do you also show people how to set Skype up as well? Do you?
Yes, there's some people that have just bought new computers, or their children have bought them computers or iPads, and they need to learn how to use them and set them up initially, and I do all that too.
Good on you. Well done. All right. Well, anyone that wants to find out more can check out your website. And what is your rates? What do you charge?
Well, for the first hour is $65.
$65 for an hour. Yep.
65, yes, and the second hour is $55. Usually, I advise not more than a 2-hour session at the most, because otherwise it gets very tiring.
So for $120, you could do a 2-hour session, and if you did a few of them, you'd be up to speed in no time, I should imagine.
It works very well, and most of the people get up to speed fairly quickly, and they're very happy with being able to keep up with their kids and their grandkids, and also play games and mind training games. There's a lot of things that keep elderly people happy with a computer or an iPad.
Yeah, and also keeps that mind going too. Keeps the mind active. Very important.
Right. There is games like the Brain Tuner.
Otherwise, your brain goes dead.
Yes, it helps you keep your brain sharp.
Exactly. Well done, Victor. Anyone that wants to call you directly can on your mobile number, right?
Yeah, that's my number.
0414 887155.
That's correct, Glenn.
Lovely. Thanks for chatting to us.
Thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you. Victor Praga is his name. iTutor4 Seniors. iTutor4Seniors.com. If you want to call him and find out more about his one-on-one sessions, he comes to you. Which I don't know the guy, but we just found his website. It looked terrific because that's a great service, I think. The fact that it's a very personalised service. 0414 887155.
2GB.com. Download the podcasts of all your favourite 2GB shows. Find out how to win awesome prizes. Discover what's going on in our great city.
The city of Sydney.
Hear the latest news and weather. Explore the 2GB shop for all our exclusive offers. Download the 2GB smartphone app and loads more. All in one place and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 2GB.com.
I don't know about you, but over the last few days, we gave the De Bortley a little bit of a nudge at our house. And for two reasons. One is that it is a sensational wine. We gave the red, the white, and the sparkling a run. The Emery sparkling is just beautiful. And the Moscato. Give that a whirl. De Bortley are fabulous people. They're great sponsors of ours on a Saturday night, and they make a fabulous wine as well. They have been making wine in Australia since 1928, and they're a very proud third-generation Australian wine-making family. We love them. You'll love their product. Give it a whirl. De Bortley.
The greatest betting competition across all sports. Top Better is giving punters free better bucks to bet across the weekend sporting events. Top Better, where social punters take on professional punters to see who the top punter is. Top Better, the future of betting. With Top Better, stop betting against the bookies and start backing yourself. Visit topbetter.com.au. That's Top Better, BETTA. Gamble responsibly. Conditions apply.
The Sisters of Charity Outreach Program is still committed to supporting people in need, so Outreach still needs volunteers for their community service programs, including the Court Support Program as well as Respite Care. Respite Care involves visiting those who are housebound, providing carer relief and going on social outings. Volunteer training programs are being organised soon. If you can help, call Outreach on 8382 6430. That's 8382 6430. A 2GB community service announcement.
Did you know that Palmetto is the #1 selling buffalo in the world? Palmetto buffalo grass is the soft-leaf buffalo that's tough and hard-wearing with excellent fast growth across the ground. Palmetto soft-leaf buffalo requires less mowing, and once established, Palmetto's dense growth makes it harder for the invasion of weeds. Palmetto has good tolerance to grey leaf spot and other diseases, and is more resistant to pests such as lawn grub. To find out more, visit palmetto.com.au or phone 1300 30 Lawn.
You're listening to The Clubhouse with Glenn Wheeler on 2GB 873. Thanks to 50upclub.com.
I think it was last Sunday morning on the Travel Show here on 2GB, Sunday mornings from 9 till 10 a.m, I mentioned about the good old days when you'd go out to the airport, drop somebody at the international terminal, and then you'd go to the observation deck and watch, or you'd wait actually, usually several hours waiting for the plane to leave, and you'd stand up there and look through binoculars, put 20 cents in the slot or whatever it might have been, and wait for the